what do you think the solution can be to resolve the problem as we have it today? The problem of high high food prices because of the flood and a number of other things, of course. What do you think can be the solution?
Technology, like everything revolves around the government because much much can also be done outside of the government. But of course, with respect to private investors and Africans in diaspora groups and Nigerians in diaspora, and it touches on government as well. Even like there's this project on cassava, which I know in one of the Southeast states, they are trying to work with an African diaspora group on that to develop a good food value chain initiative, because cassava has a lot of derivatives which are actually promising, and of course it will create also jobs. It will also ensure for food security, and of course because it has products in the primary products, secondary products, and tertiary products. And with respect to that also, it forms source of raw materials for industry, and among other benefits. So we need to look at the issue of pricing, price ceiling, maximum price. So the highest possible price that farmers are allowed to charge. Not even farmers now. We are talking of the middlemen. Those price related issues. If there's a way that government could come in, and do the price ceiling thing, and it must be set below the equilibrium price to for it to be effective. So of course, government often seek to they always look out for ways to assist farmers by setting price floors in food markets. So a minimum allowable price set above the equilibrium price is a price floor. So with a price floor, the government forbids a price below the minimum. So price controls, they are normally mandated by the government in a capitalist economy, that is in a free market. And I will tell you that like in a market structure, there's what we call perfect markets, perfect competitive markets, and that's what most agricultural products or product market is. It tends to be more perfect competition and not imperfect. Imperfect tends towards when I mentioned oligopoly, like when there was ban on importation of wheat by the Central Bank of Nigeria, and it was in agreement with the president's order, and at that time, that type of policy could lead to oligopolies, powerful oligopolies, and we know them, like our brother Dangote and other people who are producing, doing so well within their space, but they are few, so they become oligopolists and they become the price makers. And so what will now happen to those smallholder farmers and those little and small and medium scale enterprises? They will become the price takers, and because of the ban of the they are producing wheat. I'm talking of the oligopolists. They are producing wheat, so they will be the ones in control of the price. So that's the implication. So we need to look at some of these things when of course, like I was mentioning about the price control thing, they are usually implemented as a means of direct economic intervention to manage the affordability of certain goods and services, including rent, even gasoline, and then the food matter that we're talking about. Thank you.
I remember that in one of our episodes, we talked a lot about the the pricing of commodity in Nigeria, because I think it's a very important thing, particularly in this period now. We are in the ember period. This is November. We see price hike suddenly. It will just go up because it appears that the regulation is not, I don't know whether to say it's not enforced or it's not clear, or because there are a lot of factors that are actually maybe contributing to it and all that. But at the end of the day, they just make the people suffer for it. Well, whatever the government decide then and the marketer decide then, it is not really the marketer that are pay the price. The price is eventually transferred to the final consumer. So they're the one that are pay the price at the end of the day. Well, that is fine.
Absolutely, they are the end users. They are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
users, and like I was talking about the ways that the government, different kinds of interventions for the for Nigeria's economy. Like we are talking about taxes. Taxes, people don't really understand how tax can also come in. I have traveled and I have seen that in most developed countries that pay taxes, you can see that that is also can help out in some of these interventions. And also even like I mentioned subsidies, then I mentioned price control regulation, minimum wage legislation, and even government bailouts. Yeah, which are all of those kinds of examples. Yeah. Sorry for cutting you.
No, not at all. And of course, when we are talking of Nigeria, we are making comparison to other functioning system. Okay, sorry to just put it like that. It is true that we are expecting that the system to function in Nigeria, but what we have is really not functioning. So that is why it looked like just a dog that is running around itself, eating its or biting its own tail. Yeah, because if the thing were functioning, most of these things will be taken care of automatically because there is a chain of reaction of event because it's a system. As a system, it's not something that is just decided by the president. There are a lot of things that happen between where you harvest your crop or where you cultivate your crop before it gets to the market. Who controls it? How does it get there? What if you lost? Who is going to pay for it? There are a lot of things that goes into the market at the end of the day. It's not just a simple thing that you just create. These things are not imagined; they are real things, So I think somebody needs to make sure that the system function. Because if the system don't function, this is just one of the consequences of it. It is not created by the farmer or the Ministry of Agriculture. It is created by the entire system itself of Nigeria. Because at the end of the day, we're also going to deal with corruption. We're going to deal with who supplied the fertilizer, for example. Can we rely on the evidence that they are providing for us? Who said that the food is coming is actually good? Based on what? What are the data that we have? So it is a system thing. What we need in Nigeria is for the system to work. If the system works, it affects the education, it affects the labor market, it affects the kind of work that we even do. And why do we need to do this type of work? So I think it's something that revolves everything, not just the agricultural sector.